So thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you everybody for attending this meeting. We're all aware of the devastation that has been inflicted on the educational institutions in Gaza, and my colleague and Dr. Dawaz has given us a flavor of what has happened in the last 6 months. There was a number of universities in Gaza. Al-Islamic University and Al-Azhar University are the two medical schools, but there are many other universities that have been targeted and destroyed. Isra University was one of the new universities that was this year due to start taking medical students, but obviously has not been able to do so. And these are the universities now. This is Al-Azhar University, which used to be a thriving university. This is Al-Aqsa University. This is the Islamic University. This is Al-Quds Open University. This is the Isra University, which was a new, nice university. And a lot of you, I'm sure, have seen the videos where it was blown up deliberately and without any provocation or excuse. So faced with the devastation of medical education in Gaza, we have come up with this scheme, Gaza Educate Medics, GEM for short, as an umbrella organization to coordinate and include all the efforts to support Gaza. And by supporting Gaza, I mean supporting the medical schools and supporting the medical students, because if they survive and if they are available, they will be able to support Gaza. Our purpose is to try and, not to try, we are nearly there, establishing a virtual medical school with an online platform and to be focused on the curriculums of both Al-Azhar University and the Islamic University. We're not devising a new curriculum. One of the main aims of this scheme is to actually maintain the universities and allow them to survive this onslaught so that they can work in the future to provide the workforce and healthcare workers for Gaza. The scheme has been accredited by the two universities, and we have memorandums of understanding with both deans from the Islamic University and Al-Azhar University, and also Al-Quds University, which used to be the mother university for Al-Azhar University. The platform will be interactive, where students can log on, can attend their modules, and then in their own time, whenever they have internet access and whenever they can study. It will be the mainstream for education. And we are not just building this for now, we are building something that can be used in the future, either in Gaza or potentially in other war zones that lose the ability to educate their medics. The universities have used Moodle in the past during COVID, and we are doing something very similar. We will utilize the previous content that they had, but there will be gaps in that, and we will have committees. We have committees that will be able to identify these gaps, either create teaching material or source ready content that we can bring on to cover the gaps that we have. We will cover the curriculum for all the 6 years, and the platform, we will have assessment portals within it so that we can check on the students' progress during their year as they look on the material and study it. And the students can also check on their own progress. There will be some elements of mental health support and assigning mentors and supervisors for all of the students that will register with us. The long-term gains of this is it can become the main mode of education for the time being for both universities. It's unlikely that the universities will be up and running in the next 2-3 years, maybe 5 years. So Gaza cannot afford not to have graduates, medical graduates over the next few years. So this can continue as long as it is required. We have engaged the current faculty at the universities as much as possible and as much as they can be available, because there's a lot of difficulty for a lot of the current faculties to be able to support this project. But we do have quite a reasonable number from them. And as I said, the two deans have been on board from the beginning. All the modules will be online, delivered as per the curriculum and the outcomes specified by the universities. There will be hopefully meet-out rooms for the students to be able to communicate among themselves and to have mentors available to be able to talk to them and guide them through their learning. It will be mainly problem-based learning, although the two universities have different curriculums, and we are going to cater for the two universities. So there will be two portals, one for the Al-Azhar University, one for the Islamic University students. And the progression through the years will be as per the schools that they belong to. So that's for the clinical years 1 to 3. They will be able to access the modules and study them and progress as they go along. But for year 4 and 6, which are the clinical years, and they are more of a challenge, so we will need to cater for the students remaining in Gaza and for the students who have been displaced out of Gaza. But we need to find clinical attachments and placements for the students that fits with the required curriculum objectives of their medical schools, and to get them reflective logs and certification that they've completed these modules and that they meet the standard that is required by the university. The assessments will be done on the platform, and the accreditation, once we are satisfied on the scheme, that the universities will accept our certification and will accredit whatever learning has been taken by the students. The clinical year students have been displaced all over the world, and I will show you some slides of more figures with figures to indicate that. You may ask, within Gaza, how are we going to get clinical placements? We are utilizing the 3 remaining governmental hospitals, the European Hospital, Al-Aqsa Hospital, and Kamal Adwan Hospital. Sorry, Abu Yusuf al-Najjar Hospital, and there is the Emirati Obzangani Hospital. So we are working with them at the moment to sign memorandum of understanding with them to provide us with specific number of placements. Also, we have been in contact with a number of the field hospitals, the IMAC Hospital, the UK Med Hospital, the Jordanian Military Hospital, the Emirati Hospital, working on getting memorandum of understandings with them, knowing what is their capacity for students' placements. So what do we need from people? What do we need? We have the medical school deans on board. We do need expert panels, and I will show you where you can fit if you choose to help and support this project. We have the IT company on board. It's a South African company who's doing all this work for free, voluntary, to support the medical students in Gaza. So the way the scheme is going to be operational is we have the steering committee, and all the volunteers that volunteer to be part of this scheme will hopefully volunteer to be 1 or 2 or 3 of these committees. We have a faculty and year leads committee, which will cover the 6 years. This will be to ensure that the students are progressing. Also, there will be faculty there to deliver each module from year 1 to year 6. IT committee focused on development of the IT services. Assessment and evaluation committee to ensure that the students are progressing, are doing the right assessments and a certification. Student engagement and mentorship committee to get in touch with the students, also to provide them with mentorship and support as and when required. The module recovery and design committee will ensure that we have adequate modules available to cover the whole curriculum. So as I said, whatever is there that we can get from the universities, we'll use, but there will be gaps, and we have identified gaps, so we will need to source material to cover these gaps. The Clinical Placement Committee will be focused on placing the students from year 4 to 6 and matching the students that are registered on the scheme with the clinical placements that we will be able to provide within Gaza or outside of Gaza. Fundraising committee, this is not a cheap project, and moving students around from Gaza, just getting out of Gaza, they will cost a lot of money, and then trying to disperse them around the world to do their clinical placements is going to cost money. So we do need fundraising activities, and this is something that is very important, and we encourage people to start helping by fundraising and earmarking some funds for this project going forward. There will always be a standards and governance committee to ensure that the students, if there's any issues, they will be dealt with, but also if faculty have any issues, that we can deal with them. All this information is on our PalMed Academy website, which you can access, palmedacademy.com, and there is the registration forms through these links for the faculty or for the students from the medical schools. And the form is straightforward and simple. This is the registration form for the faculty, and this is the registration form for the students. So what do we have so far? We have 120 volunteers, faculty volunteers, registered with us on the scheme. Half of them are from the UK, but the rest are from across the world. This data is from 2 weeks ago. I haven't updated it, but we've had recent quite good contact from America and from Malaysia, and there's an additional at least 60 faculty members from these two blocks that have joined us in the scheme. And the 120 that have volunteered so far have covered most of the committees that we need. So we have placed all the volunteers in different committees that they will work on delivery of the curriculum. But we still, I think, need more faculty members to cover the different modules. Would love to have some more people volunteering for IT and for fundraising. What about the students? We opened the students registration applications on the 29th of March after a meeting which was heavily subscribed. And we have disseminated the registration form at that meeting and through PalMed Academy website and PalMed Europe and social media. We had 1,565 students complete forms. However, not all of them were medical students, and these 3 bars here were either students that are pre-medical school or are doing internship or are postgraduate, so they were not relevant to our scheme. So that's 1,560. More than half were female and less than half were male. But when we looked at the registrations in more detail, there was 771 students from the Islamic University, but only 745 were medical students. And from Al-Azhar University, there was 740 students registered, but the medical students were 713. So in total, the medical students we have registered with us are 1,511. There was all these universities as well, which are in Gaza, and some are not in Gaza, some are in Egypt, where students registered with us, but they're not the kind of the students that we are targeting. What about the universities? And this is the breakdown of the students that registered according to year and according to university. And you can see the lowest numbers were in year 1 and in year 6, but the other years are very well represented. But that gives us about 700 students that will require clinical placements going forward. Where are all the students? 79, nearly 80% of them are still in Gaza. Of the students that registered with us, 16% are in Egypt, and the rest are distributed again around the world. And as you can see, they span from America all the way to Russia, across the Middle East and Europe. So there are students everywhere that have, these are about 60 students that have been managed to go to other countries apart from Egypt and or remaining in Gaza. This is a strange one, and we need to drill down a bit on it because there was 379 people, students, said that they have been able to continue their training, but they were not able to give us details about that. So we will need to drill into that. But the majority have not been able to continue their medical training. And the main reason given for that is financial, or unable to travel, followed by logistical reasons. You may ask, if you are doing an internet-based delivery of this school, of the education, are they going to have internet access? And these slides are courtesy, the next 3 slides are courtesy of Dr. Rami Musallam, who carried out this survey through the Union of Gazan medical students. So 42% have an access to a PC or a laptop, 20% have an access to an iPad out of the 418 students that were surveyed. But if you look at this, which is living in a location with internet access, 65%, while 35% don't. But out of the 35% that don't have internet access, 60% of them say that they can find the location with an internet access. So the majority, I guess, we will have some kind of internet access, and the internet access can be suited to their own needs. Whenever they want to study, they can log and can study. Circumstances allow, they can log on, do a module, 2 modules, 3 modules, whatever they can do. It's not going to be fixed. The fixed ones will be the sessions with faculty, and these are going to be the difficult ones for students. But hopefully there is work being done on improving the IT access and also developing hubs within the north, middle, and south where students can aggregate and as groups and receive the information, the teaching together. And the majority of them can spend some time studying at variable levels of their time. We have had a number of collaborators coming on board: PAMA, the Palestinian American Medical Association, the North American Arab Medical Association, OXPAL, PALMED Europe, obviously, and Al-Quds University recently. We had a meeting with them. I thank you very much for listening to me and giving me the opportunity to explain what we're trying to do. We welcome everybody to work with us within GEM to support the Gaza medical students. It is an umbrella organization. It is, yes, it's driven mainly by PALMED Academy and PALMED at the moment, but it is anybody and everybody can join and contribute to this massive project, as you see. But we do require all the efforts, all the talents to make it a success. Thank you very much.